What is it and how can we define it? Welcome to The Connection. I'm Doris Childress. Fact or fiction, we are fascinated with the struggle between good and evil. Good is often seen as anything presenting purity, be it values, thoughts, or objects. Evil is described as things of a dark and violent nature, often causing harm. For many, that is the clear-cut definition they live by. But in a society that is becoming more and more open to different values, customs, and beliefs, how can evil or good be clearly defined? Is evil an external or internal force? Tonight, we'll discuss the forces and nature of good and evil. Joining me on The Connection is Dr. Jeremy Wilkins, Assistant Professor of Systematic Theology at the University of St. Thomas School of Theology at St. Mary's Seminary. Cynthia Freeland, Professor and Chair, Department of Philosophy at the University of Houston. She has given seminars on the subject addressing evil. Stuart Federer, Rabbi of Congregation Shar HaShalom in Clear Lake. He is co-host of a show of faith on Talk Radio 950 KPRC. And Imam Isam Rajab. He is founder of the Aries Institute, a Center for Islamic Studies based here in Houston. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Good to be here.
You know, when we got started on discussing this show, everyone dwelled on evil, never the concept of good. So we're going to try to define both of those concepts and see if we can get a clear understanding. So here's our first question. How do we recognize clearly good and evil and define it? Rabbi, we'll start with you.
Oh, thank you. Well, first of all, I think that in the opening segment, you were talking about something of a nature, that it was evil, when you were defining evil. And something, in order to be evil, doesn't have to be inherently evil, but its effect can be evil. I think the way I would define evil is something that hurts or harms the innocent, which can be a compliment you're giving someone that someone else hears and takes offense at or is insulted by it. That can be evil too. There are gradations of evil. So I think that evil I would define as harming the innocent, and good is something I think that is helpful. And I'm not sure exactly how better to define that, but that's how I would begin.
I think that's the battle for everybody. Imam, what do you think?
I definitely agree with Rabbi Stewart. But however, sometimes even if you don't affect anyone else, if you even do something to yourself, that will be also considered evil. Early on, from the even before Christ, peace be upon him, Aristotle, he tried to define evil also. And when we come to the economic and ethics, he said that the act is morally good if and it only if contributes to one's virtue. So what's the virtue? It is the mean between two extremes, just like bravery. It is between rashness and cowardice. And it cannot be learned without a virtuous person.
Okay, I'm going around to everybody because I'm really trying to wrap my mind around this. Dr. Wilkins.
Well, thank you. I would like to sort of piggyback on the Imam's comments. I think it's important to think about good and evil in terms of the right ordering of our loves. And the things that we love are in themselves good, but what makes it evil is when we begin to love them in a disordered way. If we desire something that's good in itself, wealth or food or sex or whatever it may be, if we begin to love it in a way that's disordered and doesn't, in a certain sense, correspond to the true value it has within a whole order of good things, that's, it seems to me, what evil fundamentally is about. So it's not a characteristic of the nature of the things, but rather the order in which we love them. Right. And a rightly ordered soul, to piggyback on the comment about Aristotle, is the soul that loves the right things in the right order. And disorder enters in when we begin to love things in the wrong order. We love ourselves, we love food or sex or money in a disordered way.
Dr. Freeland?
I'm in pretty close agreement with what Rabbi Federer said about evil being harming the innocent. I would probably define it as indifference to the suffering of others. And then by the converse, you could define good as caring about the good of others, caring about the welfare of others, caring about welfare. And I also agree with the Imam that you would need to care about yourself. If you ignore yourself or maybe commit suicide or something, you know, you're hurting yourself in a way that's inappropriate. So caring about the well-being of both yourself and others and not putting yourself above the others.
Do you think religion is a source of evil, or can it be, or has it been? Dr. Wilkins?
Well, I think the first thing to be said about that is that religion is not just one thing. Religion is, there are many different religious traditions, and I think in a way there
Well, let's just speak from your tradition.
Okay. Well, I would say in general a religious tradition is authentic in the measure that it provides resources to help people order their souls rightly. There's always a kind of a demonic temptation that also can happen, so that even religion itself can be disordered and applied, I think, to evil ends. So it's
Give
not.
me an example.
Well, for example, in my tradition, there's always historically been a concern about the truth of the things that we believe. And I think in and of itself, it's healthy and authentic to be concerned about the truth of what you profess. But it has happened, for example, in the past, and it's well known to everyone, that in the Christian tradition, this concern about the truth of our faith also has led us in a disordered way to the Inquisition and to in a certain sense, a kind of a distorted way in which we pursue that value of the truth of our profession. So that's, in a way, yielding to a kind of a demonic temptation. And it's not that the concern for truth is a bad thing, but that it becomes loved in an inordinate or disordered way.
Yeah. Imam, what do you think about that?
Religion itself, as I believe, it never become a source of evil. However, misunderstanding, misinterpreting, misusing the religion could become evil, because the religion basically is from God, and God would not command evil. But people, when they try to extort the meaning, when they try to say this is what we understand from it, when they try to misuse it, then it becomes evil.
That's one of the questions I have. You know, in all the reading about good and evil, the whole question of God and evil, if God is all good, well, where did this whole essence of evil come from? Did he not create it or bring it into existence or being?
Again, for us as Muslims, we believe that evil or everything is created by God, but not necessarily wanted by God. So evil, we have inner source for evil from our well-being, just like what Doctor said earlier about loving things and then the order of them. That's true when we have the free will and we choose to do evil or to do good. God gave us this free will, so it comes from within. But there is also external, and we know the history and the story of Adam, peace be upon him, when he was created, and the devil vowed to lead the sons of Adam astray. So evil has two faults, external and internal.
Rabbi, same question about religion.